Welcome back to the John Mendola Show here in WILK. 10:08, Holy Cross boys basketball team is with us in studio. Coming up, we have the Lackawanna Trail Lions basketball team. They're going to be in studio with us as well. Let's get back over to Coach Al Calais. And, Coach, we'll get through the guys now. Carl Schuster, one of those guys who's a senior for you this year. Talk about his skill set for you.
Carl's role is to come in and give us some good defense. He does a lot of the fundamental things well. Things that don't get in the paper is really a valuable part of us. He had an exhibition game earlier in the year. I believe it was against Pittston area. He came off the bench, hit some big points, had 7 points. So he's a valuable asset to have, and his defense is outstanding.
All right, let's welcome in Carl Schuster here on the John Mendola Show. And Carl, let's talk about priding yourself on the defensive end. Something that coach preaches, or something you just feel that you're pretty darn good at?
That's something I always try and focus on. However many minutes I get, I try and give it my all, and defense is probably the easiest way to do that. You can just give all-out effort.
We all learn something about ourselves. Talk about a little bit about, you may not be the guy with 20 points in the paper, as Coach mentioned, but the guy who tries to be a leader. Talk about different ways you try to lead, whether it's, a rah-rah guy or defensively when you get out on the court, you just try to do your best and play high intensity.
Well, it's a very unselfish team, so, that's always what I try and bring to the team and be an example for younger players is that I'm going to try and do whatever I can and just play together with the team. And that's why I really try my best to play defense the best that I can, because I know that's my role. And just helping out wherever you can is really what I try and instill in the younger players.
And another role you do is your 3.7 grade point average there at Holy Cross, so you're doing it academically. Talk about influencing some of the younger guys about staying after the books and making sure they're doing a good job in the classroom.
Well, definitely school is very important. You have to be educated in life, and, high school basketball doesn't last forever, and, you have to be eligible to play, so we always try and keep our grades up.
All right. You also do track?
Yes, that's correct.
And talk about some of the events you competed in track and field.
I did high jump and long jump.
All right. Pretty cool. And you have a favorite in either of those, the high or the long?
I think I'm a little bit better at the high jump.
All right. Well, I hope you have a good spring season there. Older sibling, tell us a little bit about.
My sister Lauren, she's at Manhattan College.
All right. Very cool. And as far as the next step for you, let's talk about where you want to go and what you may want to study.
I'm interested in studying medicine right now. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going, but I have a couple acceptances. I'm trying to narrow it down.
And as far as your folks, tell us about the role they have with you and the good influences and making sure you're doing everything you're supposed to do.
They're definitely my role models. They definitely try to instill in me a lot of good characteristics, specifically like focusing on school and giving my all in sports and stuff like that.
All right, Carl. Well, great to catch up with you. We wish you the best going forward.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Carl Schuster, a senior there with the Holy Cross basketball team. Coach Tommy Montefort is with us today, so tell us a little bit about Tommy.
Well, this is Tommy's fourth year on varsity. He started, I believe, the past 3 years, and this summer we received a big blow when he broke his ankle in a conditioning session. But he's been working his tail off since that happened. The rehab was difficult, but he came back and started getting some playing minutes early in January. But he's such a valuable part because he's a leader. He is a rah-rah guy. Another guy that plays really hard, and just a great leader for us. So we're thrilled that he's back, and he's one of the reasons why we're playing really well right now.
All right, let's welcome in Tommy Montefort from Holy Cross here on the John Mendola Show. Tommy, let's go back to your freshman year and being able to hit the court there at Holy Cross. Not an easy thing to do. What was the experience like as a younger player?
Well, it was definitely different coming from playing in 8th grade, Catholic Schools League, coming into playing high school against guys that are, 2-3 years older than me. I mean, starting playing JV and then a little bit of varsity time was a huge difference between the two. It was definitely good though, being a freshman and getting that time, because then as I progressed to sophomore, junior, senior year, I kind of see how I've changed and how things have changed around me.
All right, and how about the the tough part, the injury over the summer. Talk a little bit about the pain, and then slowly getting yourself going with that and fighting through that, and then getting yourself mentally prepared as well.
It was difficult. I mean, I really tried to not focus so much on the injury itself, but how I can become better as a team leader from the sideline. Going to the summer conditionings even when I was still hurt, going to practices when they started even though I was still hurt. Rehab was difficult. It was 3 days a week, hour 15 to 20 minutes every day, just working on strengthening the ankle, work on getting my mobility back up, stretching, things like that, and then keeping myself to a certain degree of conditioning so I wasn't too slow when I came back into playing.
And as far as what you like about this team, talk about all the things that you guys do on and off the court that makes it fun to be a member of the Holy Cross Crusaders.
Well, we're a team that sticks together. I mean, we're great close friends. A bunch of us have been together for 2-3 years now, so we all know how we all play. We got guys like Tyler. He's a good shooter. We know where to get him the ball. Kieran, good driver, good shooter as well. We know where to get him the ball, where his strengths are, where Tyler's strengths are. So, just being close with each other, we know how to play with each other.
A couple siblings for you, JJ and Angelina, so tell us about both of them.
My brother, JJ, actually I got to play with him my freshman year. He played with Coach. He goes to Penn State, Maine for landscape architecture, and then my sister, Angelina, goes to OLP up in Clarks Green.
All right, cool. Doing a good job in the classroom. History, one of your favorite subjects. Talk about what it's like attending Holy Cross academically and what that's like for you.
Holy Cross definitely pushes you, to become your best. It's not, a school where they'll kind of push you along, say, oh, good job. Like, if you're doing something wrong or, you're not, going up to your best potential, they'll pull you aside and say, hey, what's going on? Do you need some help in this certain subject? Things like that.
Next step for you could be the University of Scranton?
Yeah, I got accepted there. I have to work on my Army ROTC application. I have to do my physical fitness test and then do an interview, but that's what I hope to do.
All right, awesome, and congratulations on the Army ROTC. That should be a great program for you.
Thank you.
And your dad, let's talk about his influence on you and why he's your role model.
So my dad came into my life when I was about 1. He's my stepdad. He's been a huge part of my life. He's the reason why I started playing basketball. I mean, he pushes me every day to become the best person that I am, whether it's basketball, whether it's school, anything like that. He just pushes me to be the best that I can be.
Awesome to hear. Track and field in the spring. How about some events for you?
I'm planning on doing the 800 and the 400. I don't know if I'm going to be up to my freshman year potential, but I hope to be.
All right. Well, great to catch up with you, and we wish you the best of luck, okay?
Thank you.
All right, Tommy Montefort, a well-rounded young fella doing some great stuff there at Holy Cross, has a bright future, of course, at the University of Scranton with that ROTC program. Coach Tyler Mazelewski is with us today, so tell us a little bit about what you like about Tyler on the court.
Tyler's been an outstanding shooter for us for the last 3 years. He's got great range. Actually, last night he had a couple of deep ones, and the thing is, when you're a good shooter, teams adjust and they move up and they guard you tighter. And I really like the way that Tyler has countered that by working on going to the basket, finishing and pull up jumpers. He grabs a lot of rebounds for us, and he's really made an effort defensively, and it's really been evident the last 4 or 5 games. He's leading by example now, and again, that's one of the reasons why we're clicking so well.
All right, let's welcome in Tyler Mazelewski here on the John Mendola Show. Tyler, let's talk about that shooting and being able to put up some points.
Yeah, John. One of the things that my dad always he always tells me on every game day, like, oh, Tyler, you gotta get 250 shots up, 500 shots up, and anytime that we have time, especially if it's a Saturday game or a States game, we'll always go in the morning, around 8 o'clock, 8:30, get as many shots as possible, without getting too tired. And he's always pushed me to become the best shooter I could be, the best all-around scorer I could be, and just hopefully that I could do more than just score for the rest of my life.
Yeah, sounds like a typical guy who could score points is he's putting the work in like you are. He's going out there and shooting, and whether it's the backyard, the park, or getting to a gym, able to get there and do what you're supposed to do. Let's talk about the cohesion on this year's team. What's going well so far with this group?
One of the most outstanding things I could say about this team is that I think our cohesion comes from just like the amount of time that we put in like with each other. Like we're always talking to each other in the hallways in school, on the bus. We have so many inside jokes I can't even keep track of all of them anymore. But yeah, it's just we're all great friends, and like I can't think of one guy on the team that hates each other. Like we're all on great terms with everyone.
As far as improvements this year, what are things that either coach mentions or you see yourself saying, hey, we really need to rebound better, or we need to limit our turnovers more? What's one or two things that you think this team could grow between now and the end of the February when the playoffs begin?
I think you hit it right on the nail on the head when you said turnovers right there, because we were struggling early in the season with turnovers, but as we're going along now, we're starting to get calmed down more. We're starting to get more used to playing with each other, like during games and things like that. On fast breaks, we're making better decisions, and we're starting to really click now, as Coach said. And another thing is it's always defense. We're always striving to get better defensively. And I think Al's son, Al Jr., he said last night, we're never going to be satisfied until a team scores 0 points in the game. But of course, that's never going to happen. But that's the standard that we're living up to.
All right, like it. A couple siblings for you. Talk about what both of them are up to.
My little sister Allie, she goes to Wyoming Area Catholic, and she plays basketball. I think she has a game at 3:00 today. I have to get back to.
All right.
But then my other one, he's my older. I don't even know if I want to call him a brother. He's like a foreign exchange student, but he's living with me, and I guess he's been living with me for about 2 years now. And I guess when someone lives in your house for that long, I guess you have to call them a brother. Like we treat each other like brothers. We bicker like brothers. Like it's just been a great experience him living in my house.
Cool. And your mom and dad, as far as your role models, talk about what they do for you all the time to make you successful.
Yeah, as I said before, like my dad's always pushed me to be the best I could be. Like taking me out early in the morning and shoot. I remember back in the summer, he'd like wake me up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and be, come on, Tyler, we're going lifting. And my mom, whenever I have a bad game or something like that, my dad's he'll be mad at me like for whatever it is, like not giving my all or anything like that. But my mom's always the first one there, like pat me on the back, like picking me up after these games, like. And then even like outside of sports, they're both the most supportive people in my life. Like whether it's picking a college or making the biggest decisions in my life, they'll always back me up on whatever they think.
Awesome. And American University, is that pretty much said and done where you're at, or a dream?
I already got accepted, but I'm not sure if it's like that's been my number one school for about a year and a half, 2 years now. Mm-hmm. But I just want to make sure like everything's set. Like I don't want to make any rash decisions on such a big decision like that.
Gotcha. Well, great university, and I'm sure there'll be other ones that are looking at you as well. Tyler, great to catch up with you, and continued success for you.
Yeah, thanks, John.
All right, Tyler Mozaleski there for Holy Cross. We're going to continue the conversation. 4 more guys to get to with the Lackawanna Trail basketball team in studio with us as well. You can pick up a copy of our basketball magazine. Want to thank our friends at Holy Cross High School, McCarthy Tire Service, locations in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, Williamsport. You can also grab a copy at our Carol and Janelle or Ravello's Pizza in the pizza capital of the world, Old Forge, and not too far away at Manuka Subaru in the Manuka section of Scranton. It's all we do. We'll get you some more locations of some of those magazines you could grab while you get an opportunity. Let's head out to our local State Farm insurance agent, Frank Sirokatch. Break like a good neighbor. Frank Sirokatch is there. We'll be back on WILK